So help me God, I do.
Okay, thank you very much. You go ahead, lower your hand. So what we're going to do first, Mr. Bowman, is we're going to review the charges that Parole and Community Services bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. I will be reading the charges in lieu of Parole Officer Winokur not being here to read them today. So on charge number 1, which is the halfway house placement, Officer Winokur writes, on September 5th, 2023, you were engaged in an argument with another inmate at the halfway house. You were threatening to take another inmate's iPad and break it. You were also taunting the inmate as if you were going to swing at him. This is a violation of the halfway house agreement you signed on September 5th, 2023, treating others with respect and not engaging in verbal or physical altercations with other offenders, staff, or third party. On October 7th, 2023, you dropped your pants and urinated in your halfway house bedroom in a cup in the presence of your roommate, another inmate. This is also a violation of the halfway house agreement you signed on September 5th, 2023 of treating others with respect. On November 6th, 2023, you were in possession of a marijuana blunt while at your DOC approved halfway house CPA. This is a direct violation of the halfway house agreement of not being in possession of marijuana in a halfway house. On January 6, 2024, you became upset that another inmate had changed the channel on the TV program you were watching and ripped the cord from the TV and also broke the HDMI port, causing it to no longer work. This constitutes destruction of property. On January 17, 24, you became upset with staff when they instructed you not to be in the TV room since breaking the cord and the HDMI port on the TV, and other inmates were extremely upset with you because of this. Staff instructed you to leave because you became causing you to become loud, argumentative, and raising your voice in a threatening manner. You continued to yell and spit in the staff's face while yelling. This is a violation of the halfway house agreement that you will treat others with respect and not engage in verbal or physical altercations with other offenders, staff, or third parties. On January 8th, 2024, you were threatening to punch all 3 of your roommates in the face if you were remanded and threatened to kill all white boys. This caused alarm and distress to other inmates at the halfway house and to staff. On January 8, 2024, you were unsuccessfully discharged from the CPA halfway house for multiple program violations. These behaviors have been listed above and include, but were not limited to, threatening behavior, destruction of property, and having marijuana in your possession at the DOC halfway house. This is a violation of your halfway house stipulation. Now, Mr. Bowman, during our preliminary hearing that we held on January 26th of 2024, I did place all of the evidence that was provided by Parole and Community Service on the record. At this time, I do not have any further evidence to mark onto the record. You stated that you did not have any to add as well. And I also mentioned that I do not have Officer Winokur here to provide me with any further testimony other than what he provided during the preliminary hearing. So now is your opportunity to respond to these charges that Officer Winokur has brought against you. However, I do want to remind you that you may remain silent at this time. Would you like to make a comment in regards to these charges specifically at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Charge number 1. When I first got to the halfway house and they put me in that room, I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, what's up, guys?" And one of them said, "Don't talk to me." I just came out of jail and went to the halfway house and they put me in that room. And then I introduced myself and one of them said, "Don't talk to me." And then later, like that, I used to be out of the room all day. And then I come in, I try to get one of them attention, and he goes, my ears are plugged. Then he put his plugs back in his ears and started watching his tablet again, his movie or whatever. And that's fine, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to disturb no one. Peace. And then, because I'm usually going out of the room probably about 6 a.m. all the way to 11 p.m. I'd be around the halfway house cleaning up and stuff like that, or sometimes I watch television and stuff like that. And then I had I really know much about respect as far as my belief. You know what I'm saying? Put other people's interests before yours, and and having manners. I was raised that way, and then what happened was I thought I was disrespected. So, because I let them be in the room all day, listen to movies, sleeping and everything. And I come in the room about 11:15, 11 o'clock, because I think it's like off the floor or something. You can't be out there after a certain time. And then, and I waited. The guy got up, started eating with his flashlight on his tablet or his device and stuff like that, making noise at 11:15. And the guy that I was on the bunk with, he was laying down, he sleep. And then I said, and then I waited for about an hour and a half till 1 a.m. And I said, excuse me, could you, hey, I'm trying to sleep over here. First, he couldn't hear me. I said, excuse me, I forgot his name. Like that, he couldn't hear me, so I threw my pillow by his feet. And he said, what? I said, yo, be in here. I said, I'm trying to sleep. Like that, right? He said, I'm a grown man, I do what I want to do. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. So, I was wrong. He was wrong. He was disrespectful, and I was disrespectful because, first of all, I didn't follow the rules. I should have went straight to staff and said something, but I was a little leery because I don't know if that's the right word. Because I just got to the halfway house. I don't want to be like the one that's causing problems. So that's why I didn't go directly to staff. So I was wrong. And I accept my responsibility going forward. The let staff know. I knew I was told before, and I just forgot. Years later, that's the way to do it. But I don't want to be labeled as a snitch. That's why I didn't say anything. But charge number 2. The marijuana joint. I bought a nickel bag of marijuana. It was a small little pen joint, and I smoked half of it outside with me and some guys. And then I smoked it by myself. And then but I did buy it off someone in the program. And then that was it. And then but the evidence looked tampered with. Because I know I didn't have that much. I only had like a little roach left. It looked like a full marijuana blunt. It looked tampered with. And then charge number 3, I was watching the football game, and then I went to use the bathroom because the smoke breakers was outside taking the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go smoke and then I came back and they took the television over like that, right? I just went to use the quick bathroom. And then I said, you know what I'm saying, not to blame anyone for my problems, but I was like, yo, I was watching the game like that, right? So he wanted to watch the Weather Channel. I said, yo, I was watching the Weather Channel with you all day this morning, like that. And he was watching movies with the other guy. And I sat down and waited because I wanted to watch the game at 4, like that, right? He wanted to watch the weather was going to happen on tomorrow. And then I got a little, again, I didn't do the right thing. I forgot. I should have went to directly to staff. I noticed from working too at jobs, anything happens, go to the supervisor because it'll escalate like that, right? So I made that mistake. I forgot. It ain't gonna happen no more because I be trying to look out for other people too as not being a snitch. And I go tell, oh yeah, and then they didn't like me for that either. So the third thing is I think the staff speaking with her and spitting. I mean, I used to have my mask on, so maybe I don't know if I got a juicy mouth and maybe some spit might have flew out of it while I was talking or whatever like that. But I know I don't spit on people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not normal. I ain't gonna say it's not normal, but adults don't do that. And then I did not go in the day area like she said, And then I told her, I won't go in there while you here, miss. You know, like that, right? I said it like that, right? And then she said, I got something for your black ass. I'm calling the police, you going to jail. Like that, right? I didn't know what I did. So my problem with that was she raised her voice at me and I raised my voice at the same level. And I wasn't supposed to do that because the Bible says that a calm answer turns away wrath. So I wasn't supposed to talk to her calm, like, yes, you know, and stuff like that. I would say, yes, okay. And I did that the first time, but she came back again. She told me the first time, she came back the second time louder. You know, like after I told her, she said, okay, she came in the room and I said, you can't go in there. Like that. I said, okay. It didn't come from authority though. It didn't come from management. It was her. It was her own doing, but she is staff. So I said, I'm not going to go in there while you're here. Like that, right? And she came and said, look, don't come around me. Because she was mad because she said that I had called her fat. Like that, like, you know what I'm saying, a week ago. I didn't call her fat. I said, I was here a couple of years ago and you was thinner. Like that, right? She got mad at me, yelled at me in the office and stuff like that. Then a week later, you know what I'm saying? She waited till a week later to scream at me about that. But I didn't mean it malicious though. I mean it as in friendly though. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, she looked fine just the way she is. You know what I'm saying? Not that I was lusting or anything, you know, but and the third thing is, about something about killing the white boys. That's the untruth. Punching my roommates in the face. That's the untruth too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Bowman, I'm ready to announce my findings in regards to the charge that was brought against you. Now, there were 7 portions to this one charge, and I am going to make a finding based on the evidence that was provided by Parole and Community Service. That does include the letters from community partners and actions, the misconduct reports, everything that was provided, including your testimony and the testimony of Officer Winokur during the preliminary hearing. So I'm going to make a finding on all portions of that. That's going to conclude the fact-finding portion of the hearing. Before I make recommendations, Officer Winokur was provided an opportunity to give me information on your background and your history, as well as make a recommendation for a sanction. Now is your opportunity to do the same. This is going to help me determine what outcome I will recommend, and it should include what your future plans may be for parole. So if you would like to make a comment at this point.
A comment about what, Miss?
What would you, if you would like to give me information on your background or history, this portion is to help me determine what kind of sanction I'm gonna provide, since I did make a finding on your charge.
Okay.
So what future plans do you have, Mr. Bowman?
My future plans is, you know, being productive, getting a job. My family is very supportive. It's not just that my family is supportive. My dad is going to open up a landscaping business in New Haven. He does home improvement, and he's going to open up a landscaping business for me. I work for a living, and not to compare myself to anyone else. I work for a living, and then I respect authority. You know, it's biblical. It's my belief. You know, my father's a preacher, and then he wrote me a letter, and he said, when I get out of these walls, you know, they have a place for me. You know, my sisters or him, like that. You know, I got the letter in my room. I have the letter I got from him and my mother. And then they just tell me the same thing. You know, trust God and, you know, listen to His voice, and not the voice of the fleshly voice and the worldly voice, you know, which is, you know, self. being selfish, you know, and you know, and then I just believe that you know, I was told by my counselor in Bridgeport, he said, you like to work, you're gonna have no problem finding a job. Because everywhere I go, I clean up all the halfway houses. I sweep, mop, wipe the walls down, do everything like that they want me to do. You know, so I do things that people say hasn't been done in 25 years.
All right, so Mr. Bowman, are you looking to go to a halfway house when you were released?
I can give you my sponsor phone number, my dad, but he's either him or my sisters. He wrote me a letter that I got in my cell right now, and he said he wrote me before. You know, it took me a while to get out of jail because I keep going back. So he had rented out his floors. He rented out the first and the second floor of his home. So he said I could go. He's waiting for one of them to move. But I could go visit, live with my sisters as a sponsor, you know, just to get on my feet or whatever. And you can see.
Do you have that? Do you have the addresses to them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So why don't you give me the name and address?
My dad's name is.
If for some reason you're not able to go there and you do need to be placed in a halfway house, what district are you looking for? Are you looking to go to Hartford? Are you looking to go to New Haven, Bridgeport?
You know, I mean, I'm looking. I like New Haven. I know my way around, so I could go look for a job here, there. I have no problem, you know. And I probably even know people in the New Haven and the New Haven area and Bridgeport. But I don't want to go over to Bridgeport right now. So okay. I don't have a problem with Hartford. I don't want to be complicated. You know, so I can keep it simple, and you know, and I can go anywhere.
Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Bowman. I think I have the information that I need from you at this time.
Yeah.
All right.
If I had to choose one, I would say New Haven.
Okay. All right. Very good. I'll make sure I note that in my my summary. So, Mr. Bowman, I am going to recommend that your parole be revoked and that you do serve a 1-year sanction, approximately, with a date of January 8th, 2025, with the following conditions. No alcoholic beverage consumption, no contact with your co-defendant, Demetrius Miller, no contact with your victim who has initials GB, a general no contact with the individual with the initials JC. I'm going to put halfway house placement. I'm going to put that you're going to prefer to go to the New Haven area, as well as mental health treatment and medication compliance on that, if that is necessary.
Excuse me, if I have to do a whole year, I don't want to go to a half house. I want to go to my sponsor.
Okay.
My sponsor is my dad.
That is going to be that again. That part of it is taken care of by parole and community service. Okay, on whether or not you're going to go to the halfway house or the sponsor. If you have a sponsor, they're going to place you with a sponsor. So we now have your father's information. I'll provide that to them, and they will be able to contact him and see if that is something that is available for you when you are released. Okay. So this is my recommendation, and the reason for my recommendation, I'll just give you a brief thing, is I can't overlook all of the violations that you have had while you have been on parole. You have been given multiple chances of being out in the community, and you have continually had to be remanded back into custody because you are failing to abide by the conditions of your release. So I can't overlook that. So that is the reason for that recommendation of a long time. So my findings and recommendations are going to be forwarded to the board. The board review is tentatively scheduled for February 29th. Okay, so the board may lessen my recommended sanction. They may let my recommended sanction stand, or they may impose a sanction longer than what I've recommended. If they choose to impose a sanction longer than what I've recommended, a supplemental hearing will be provided. And before the hearing, the board will provide you with written documentations, documenting the specific reasons why they might want to exceed my recommendation. And during the supplemental hearing, you'll be provided with an opportunity to respond to those specific reasons. Okay, that is going to
Yeah,
conclude the
because I'm not accepting any more halfway houses. If that's the case, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, Mr. Bowman, unfortunately, it's not whether you're going to accept or you're not going to accept. You have
I'm
parole
telling you,
until June 5th
no, I'm
of
letting you know that if I don't have a
2020.
sponsor, I'm not going to a halfway house. I just max out if I don't have a sponsor. Okay.
All right, I will put that in there.
I'm not in your crackhead halfway houses.
I will go ahead and I will put that statement into the summary so that the board members do know that.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to conclude the revocation hearing for Mr. John Bowman, inmate number 242560. I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Bowman. I truly hope that when you get out the next time that you're following the conditions and you're doing everything that you need to do. You have until June 5th of 2027, and I'm sure you're going to be successful.
I'm
Good
sure
luck
too.
to you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
It's finished.
You gotta move. Ryan? I'll get you a pass in a minute, folks.
Is it just me, or is it you as well? I always feel like I lose a significant amount of brain cells and time that I'll never get back watching these Connecticut hearings, especially these revocation hearings. There's something in the water in Connecticut because it just doesn't make sense. It's how is it possible that we can see so many hearings that go this way, that where people are just whipping it out and urinating on the floor, and it's like these childish, and I guess what's shocking a little bit is coming from seeing all these Louisiana hearings, and we don't quite see anything like this. Louisiana, for all of its faults, there's just something different about, I guess, the culture, or that you don't. It's rare. You see it sometimes, but it's rare that you don't see this stuff. I don't know what it is. Is it because the parole board would just have nothing to do with it? Is it? I mean, I'm just trying to figure this out. How do you have these two differences? It's not like the crimes are any different. The crimes are just as bad. Like the evil deeds that happen are just as bad. Everything is just as bad, but it's just the way that people act in front of the parole board that is, and maybe something. You know what it could be? In Louisiana, I don't think they have the whole halfway house system. We do see that people can get sent, when they're getting paroled, they you have to find somewhere to go, but it's not the same type of system where it's a halfway house, right? Am I wrong with that? Here it's almost like mandatory. You go to the halfway house, you have to spend a lot of time there, and I think that a lot of this trauma happens in the halfway house. People just kind of lose it, and I don't blame them. It's got to be just a crazy place to be. And maybe that's what kind of creates some of this trauma. I mean, you put people who are already not exactly all there, all in the same house together, following rules. What do you think's going to happen? It's like, wow, who would have thought that maybe this wouldn't be a great way to organize release into society? Why is he wearing that thing? And he's inside alone. That's also, I would have thought the parole board would have said something. Man, it's just so bizarre. Now, what did he do? So thank you, Richard, for the info. it shows here, it's weird how they do this, criminal liability for another person. But he had a maximum of a 30-year sentence. This is from a crime in 1997. His maximum release date is 2027. And you know, we don't have details on his crime. This is really all it is. But he hasn't. It looks like he's been in and out of prison. So in 2015, he has a harassment second degree, which he was given 30 days of jail. In March of 2019, he had assault third degree, 6 months in jail. And then July of 2021, criminal mischief, 6 months jail, breach of the peace, 6 months jail. So he has that big 30-year sentence. And then, you know, it's very different than Louisiana here too. It's like you can get out on, I guess, this parole, but then you get these little sanctions that they do it. And I guess the whole idea is that you don't need to then get convicted of a crime. You just can get, you know, you could just violate something and then you get locked up, and then I don't know. It is, as we can see, it's just kind of this, it's this, what's it called? A thing that goes in circles. It's just a broken system. And I'm not claiming to have the answers, but it's just a broken system. Man. Okay. Anyways, with that, I'll let you go.